or the scribes say 2. In the hands of the Pharisees say 3. And you know what Igbo adage would say. Atuonke is okonogbe. Atuonke bo okonogbe. Atuonke to okonogbe. Obukogbe kakwadolia. Which means that he is actually identified as a sufferer. And no wonder the Bible comes to tell us in every other thing that happens that yet he come to be a suffering servant. And he actually come to accept that suffering. And the Bible made us to know, Philippians chapter 2 from verse 6, although he was God. He was actually God. Can you touch somebody on your right and say, he was God? And then the person on the other side say, and he stayed God. You can imagine. And the Bible continued to say, Philippians chapter 2, although he was God, and then he did not count equality with a God a thing to be grasped. He emptied himself and then come to die even a shameful death. And no wonder we come to hear in Hebrew chapter 5 verse 8 that we have a high priest who actually suffered for us, that he has learned obedience through suffering, and he has made himself a source of salvation to all who obeys. And that is where we come to know that yet he has given everything. He actually suffered. Yet though he was God, he could have decided not to suffer. If it was easy for him, he could not have cried out in Matthew chapter 26 verse 40 that although my spirit is willing, although my spirit is strong, but my flesh is weak. My body is weak, because he has known what it will take him, that he needs to actually suffer. He needs to go down. Who can actually take it? But then he had in mind that his going down means a whole lot. He is not embracing suffering because suffering is too sweet. You can see a man, I am a reverend father. I'm not a Yoruba. They were speaking Yoruba. But when I saw a young man, a very young man, I say again, on a green dress, on a green polo, you can imagine that I saw very clear. I was not the only person in the house. I was also with some of my brothers there, seeing this thing happening. But the voice said, you can imagine, are others not hungry? That these people suffered. Can you see? The man that stole is not seeing it that he saw yet, and that is what it is. He's seeing it that he's hungry. He does not want to suffer before he eats. But see, the person that his property was stolen saw it that he suffered before he can actually get that property. My dear brothers and sisters, we have gathered today to celebrate the Easter. But let us know that without the suffering and death of Jesus, we could not have been here to celebrate the Easter. And no wonder we know that Jesus decided to embrace the suffering. Bearing in mind you, can you touch yourself and say, myself? Jesus bore in you that thing you said now, you are safe. Myself. He bore in mind we. And you can imagine that. And that is why we come to hear that in everything that happened, why did he pray this prayer? Luke chapter 23 verse 34. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they were doing. If it was easy for him, why will he even remember at this point to say this prayer? But he has to say it because he knows. And again also, you remember, there was the other thief, as the Bible told us. Luke chapter 23 from verse 40. Well, in fact, my Bible said in verse 40 that the one thief that he was abusing, my Bible used the word abusing. Can you imagine? He was abusing Christ. What did Christ do? Christ did not respond to him, because Christ already knew why he is there. But thank God, the other thief, the Bible called him a repentant thief. The other thief yelled out after scolding the other one. But my concentration here is that he yelled out that, oh, remember me in paradise. And verse 43 of Luke 23, Jesus said, today you shall be with me in paradise. Because it's a mission fulfilled. It's actually the reason why he went through suffering. You can imagine. There and then, remember the words of Jesus, that today you shall be with me in paradise. It is not about tomorrow. It is today. It is not about then. It is about now. And that is why somebody knows that the Easter is for you. It's for you, for your well-being today. It's for your good today. It's not about tomorrow. It's not about next time. It is about now. I see Easter happening in your life. I see Easter taking over in your life. I see Easter actually standing in the gap for you. The Easter I know is the risen Christ. May